Well, good day, it's Louis Ferret. We are reading through a visual novel, Sakura Maid 1.0-all. There you go, that's its true name, or at least the name of the folder. Anyway, yeah, Sakura Maid, the first one for it. In front of us is Sina. It looks like the maid, the one we are playing. I guess playing as, reading as, and all that. Obviously, the first thing you'll note is this is not exactly what, well, when you think of a maid, I'm thinking more like Toro, or Toru, and people like that. Just think her master is female too. Let that one sink in for a little bit. Anyway, this is apparently the uniform, and they're cool with it. That's fine. Last episode, I think the only way to describe it is we had sex with a plant. I shit you not. Don't know where to go with that one. But, nevertheless, let's find out what else we're going to have sex with. I don't know. A drugs in a bloody bookcase? Or a table leg? Or a fence post? I don't know. Let's find out. Now I have sorted that out. What is the next item on Master's list? Pulling out the parchment again. Hopefully that parchment didn't get covered in all your squirty stuff. When do you call squirty stuff? Because I think there's still that debate whether it's actually like them peeing or is it like the female prostate as they call it. I think that's just an excuse to try to... I don't know. I'll let science work it out. Pulling out the parchment again, I unfurl it eagerly. Clean the dining hall. Oh great, we're gonna get fucked by a bloody leftover piece of chicken. Ah yes, I remember now. It is getting rather dusty in there, as Master has left it unused for quite a while. I was intending to clean it eventually, but there was simply no time. Thinking about that makes me feel a little depressed. No, I cannot think like that. If Master asked me to do this, then I shall do it. When she sees the well-polished floors and gleaming silverware, she surely will be pleased. That is right. Becoming depressed now isn't going to achieve anything. Alright. All that matters is doing the best job I can for my master. This is the dining hall? I thought this was the lobby. It has been some time since we've had a banquet. Master's affluence is quite well known to the local community. She has a number of interesting guests who love to stay with us and get fucked by the plants in the back. Once again, when I find myself curious about who they are and why they're here, I am happy not to stick my nose where it does not belong. They are Master's guests, and that is the only important thing. I ran my finger over the grand dining table. Despite my best efforts, I cannot help but frown again. Master only takes her meals in her room, and she does not make use of the dining hall often. If she's asking me to clean it now, then I can only presume she plans to bring company home. Which is all the more reason for me to do my best. I cannot help but feel a little giddy, imagining all the praise she will give me, or they will give me. Oh, good pat. Head pat, maybe a bum pat, maybe a little grope of the boob. Who knows? You're telling me that one maid cleared the entire manor while you were away. That is right, my master would say. She is my one and only servant. She is truly an amazing maid. And maybe Master will smile at me. I cannot help but let out a little squeal of joy as I think about that. Squeal. Oops, maybe I should not get into the habit of talking to myself. Good maids keep their thoughts to themselves. Now then, is there some way I can do this more quickly? No, it is not good to cut corners. Master would disapprove of taking the lazy approach. And she will not be back in some time. There is no other approach than hard work. But that's not a problem. Happily, I retrieve a fresh washcloth. All of this dirt and grime shall be no match for me. This table will sparkle like a cut gem when I am done with it. Ha ha. I pant heavily as I lean against the wall. It was not easy, but I did it. The silverware is polished, the candlesticks have fresh wicks. All of the... Is that furniture? Is that how you spell? Or the furniture? There's that T. Furniture has been... I'm sure. Yeah. What the hell is with that extra T? What are you doing there, T? Get out of my life. Go. Hide in that cleavage or something. Go play with the plant. All the furniture has been wiped down and my eternal enemy has been banished for a little while. You won't be back for ages, dust. Looking over my handiwork, I begin to fret a little bit. Is everything in the right place? I begin to check over everything again. Unfortunately, I get a bit nervous when Master has guests over. Everything has to be in its right place. Looking over my work again, it appears that nothing is out of place. I really do worry too much. I'm glad it does not pay to fret needlessly. Who will Master be bringing home with her, I wonder? I cannot help but become excited at the thought of someone visiting. Maybe it's artists, sculptors, or minstrels. She is very fond of those times. Or maybe one of those engineers again. Those fat fucks. It is not good for a maid to be overly curious of her master's affairs. I know that I keep repeating that, but I am only human. When you're in the background of someone else's life, you cannot help but pick up certain things, like vibrators and dildos. I am happy for her, though. Whatever her affairs are, I am certain she is doing something wonderful for the world. Now then, I have caught my breath. What else needs to be done? Let's have a look. Have the sundries ready. She really is planning to throw a banquet. I'm so excited. She has only ever has one when something big is going to happen. I feel even more motivated to do my best for her. God, don't go out in the garden again. The plant's probably still on cooldown. After setting the table with jars of sundries, I seek out for my next task. Stay away from the plant. The garden needs to be oh god, she's in the garden. The garden needs to be weeded. Master does keep more mundane plants towards the front of the house. Yes, that's so she doesn't get claims of raping. But then, they're no less pretty. Now, are all of you ready? We would not want Master's guests to be disappointed when they arrive, do we? An ugly weed sprouts next to a daisy, blocking the sun's rays. Now, aren't you a bully? I'm afraid that we cannot have you picking on those weaker than you. I pull out the little devil by its roots and throw him away. There we go. Isn't that much better? The flower's colours seem to be much more vivid in the sunlight. I'm glad you agree. As for the weed, you must die. Looking around, I cannot help but feel a little indignant when I see more of those ugly weeds sprouting from the soil. Oh, you really have to make it hard, don't you? You all could have found a much nicer place away from my master's garden. I just shake my head. Well, if you plan to be that way, then I'll show you what a maid can do. It is hard work, and work I admit I am not entirely used to. It's because you're not a gardener, woman. Master usually goes out here once a month to weed it herself. But since she's not here, I will do the best I can. Why do roots have to be so deep? Although the residence in this garden can be a little difficult at times, They are gentlemen. These nasty little fellows are very, very rude. Not only do they intrude when they're not wanted, they also have the gall to steal from the residents of this manor. Now, that is certainly something I cannot overlook, in spite of how stubborn they've been. I wonder when Master will be home. She does not say where she was going this time. Such a mysterious woman. When I was hired, she said she needed a maid with discretion. Well, I would say that I am attracted to this job because I was attracted to the job because I possessed the qualities she needed. She's a lesbian. But, what I will say instead. What I will say instead is I wanted to be with her. She looked like she needed someone to go scissor with who would understand and support her. While I do not know what it is that she does, I do understand her and her little habits. And, well, a maid can also be a maiden, can't she? Can't she? I do sincerely love her. So, I will have everything ready and in order when she comes back. The garden looks so much better without all those spiny little invaders. While it may be wrong for me to say this, but I am rather proud of my work. I am certain that Master will be proud of it too. Hopefully, she'll be back in a timely manner. Perhaps I do not need to rush through these tasks. But if she comes back earlier and I have not done, she would be disappointed. And as a maid, it is my very pride at stake here. So, I will rise up to the challenge, no matter how great it is. Oh my, it seems there is an unusual spillage in the hallway. A translucent gel appears to be coating the floor. Oh god, gonna get raped by gel. Do not tell me that we have another uninvited guest somewhere. Such guests are not unusual in Master's household. I bend over and examine the trail more closely. We're going to need a lot of soap to clean this up, and a good mop. When I find whoever did this, they are going to get a very stern talking to. Only silence echoes through the halls. Quietly, I retrieve the mop and bucket and get to work. Who in this world would see a lovely, freshly cleaned floor and think it is a good idea to make it dirty again? I imagine that Master would be very cross if she found out who they were. Now, where does the trail lead to? I follow the gel, making sure that I do not miss a single drop of it. It leads all through the halls, almost creating a labyrinth-like trail. Wherever could this uninvited guest be wandering to? If you can hear me, you best stop running away. I will have you know that I do not appreciate people who create unnecessary mess in my master's household. The more you try to escape from me, the more cross I will be when I catch up with you. It appears the trail is leading to one of the more unused parts of the manor. Yet, another of those places I have not had time to properly clean. The trail seems to lead outside, of all places. It's the purple planet trying to have sex again. However, my intuition as a maid is telling me that something is not quite right here. Should I follow the trail outside? Master did tell me once that if I see something I feel isn't quite right, then she would not scold me if I simply ignored it. Patron only. Do not follow it. I'm a Patreon. Okay, I have got it sorted. What it is I had to go find the password, and there are two passwords. I'm not going to tell you what the two passwords are. It's meant to be Patron only, and like you're already getting this for free. Look, if you really want it, Google it. It's not that bloody hard. I had to Google it. I'm a patron only fairly recently, so it might have been something they gave out before on an email. I don't know. Anyway, it's easy to find. I'll let you do some hard work. I know it's really hard to use those fingers to type. I know, instead of like, you know, BBC and, you know, mummy porn, you just have to Google something else. It's okay. We will survive. Anyway, it clears it up, so now it gets it, and I actually have everything unlocked. Just something also as a note, if you get up to the point where I was, and then you put in the passwords, I had it where a few times it didn't actually unlock. What you actually got to basically do is go back to the main menu, like cancel this, like save here, go back to the menu, reload, and go back a few steps. So I just reversed back a few steps, and then it fixed itself. I don't know, maybe I just had to, maybe it was the wrong spot to do a save or whatever. Anyway, that sorted it. But, in this, we can either do not follow the trail. Obviously, do not follow the trail. It's going to lead us to something which is pathetically boring when we've already seen her have sex with a plant. So, buckle up, buddy. Or unbuckle and put your pants down. Whichever way you want to do it. Let's follow the trail. Well, nothing has happened so far. And this mess is only going to get worse if I let this guest roam around. Right, I can do this. Oh God, no, we're out in the garden again. We're going to get raped by that same plant. Oh, consensualized sex with that plant again. As I step outside, a squelching noise echoes through the air. I look down to see that I've stepped in a puddle of blue goo. Ew. It's moving on my legs too. Oh my, are you the one who's been causing all this mess? The gel begins to reach underneath my maid's uniform. There's barely anything there. She's barely got a uniform on. I see. So you're another one of Master's. I don't know if I have to censor some of this one out. Technically not. It's not like I do monetization on my account, on my YouTube. Anyway, there you go. Had enough of getting fucked by the purple plant. Now it's time to get fucked by the blue goo. Actually, that's really funny because in the last one, in Sakura Space, they used blue goo. Maybe this is from another galaxy. Oh my, oh my. Master really does like some frisky guests, doesn't she? The gel is alive, it seems, and it has trapped me in its grasps. I will have to censor there. Sorry. It creeps along my skin, its cool, sticky surface, quivering as it covers me. Where do you think you're touching me, you despicable fellow? Gel does not pay any mind, however. Tendrils begin to form across its surface, wriggling and pressing against my skin. One of the tendrils begin to slide into my panties. Oh dear, you really are a frisky one. I'm not sure that it is listening to me. More tendrils slip into my top, kneading this sensitive flesh. It gives them a testing squeeze. Ooh, she likes that. Ooh. A small gasp escapes from me. Despite how strange it feels, something about it is surprisingly enjoyable. It's then that I begin to really begins to be merciless. Sorry, I'm fucking it up. Its tendrils writhe and rub relentlessly. My lower lips become increasingly wet, soaking through my panties. Waves of pleasure radiate from my chest and my lower half. Not so rough. It doesn't give up its assault. I like to capitalize it. My panties are a soaked mess now as the tendrils continue to wriggle around inside them. The The tendrils find my clit and seemingly envelop it. It's just like that. It seems to suck on it. The sudden touching of that place nearly sends me over the edge. It feels almost as if my legs are melting from its touch. The gel massages me all over, especially in my more sensitive places. Oh, it suddenly starts quivering on my breasts. What are you doing? It's then that the entire body of gel begins shaking and wildly moving. Relentlessly, it bumps against my precious place. I feel it. I'm going to. Its movements become far harder and far faster. It's only one more touch that finally sends me over the edge. Kaboom! I revel in the sensation as the gel slows down. Its rubbing and kneading becomes far more gentle. Haha. That was quite an experience. Maybe this is another one of Master's erotic imports. Seemingly content, the living gel seems to slink off into the undergrowth. Probably going to high-five the purple plant. Well, hopefully he won't come back. I would hate to have to clean up after him again. Although, I am partially responsible for this mess too. Well, we might leave it there for this episode. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you're as confused as I am, good. If you're aroused by this, fine, I guess. It's a bit weird. It's really weird. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 15 of weird. But I guess some people like this stuff. Oh well, so be it. Anyway, see you next episode. Have fun. Remember, buckle up or buckle down. Your choice. See you next one.